Hello again, everybody. It is a brand new day, and well, I don't know what happened to the weather. We had some lovely weather, and now it's winter again. Pretty normal though. We get the exact same thing in Canada, or we did when we lived there. It would warm up a bit, typically in March, and then we'd get some nasty weather again towards the end of March. And so we had the same thing essentially here. Now we got a lot of snow this morning, and now it is raining. And so everything is just a mucky mess. But it's not raining in here because we have this beautiful new shop. Not completed yet, of course, but we can work inside here. Yesterday we worked on the rototiller. Not completely done, but pretty much got it all assembled. Everything figured out. Very big, large unit, and looks very sturdy. So I'm hoping it actually will be. I did realize later on that we've got this wrong. There's, I believe, 3 springs here, and one of the springs is supposed to be above this piece and 2 below. So we'll switch that up. That basically prevents this tailgate from going in too far. If it goes in too far, it might hit the what do you want to call it? The teeth down there. Whoa, just got some snow up. So up the top here, we do not have the ridge cap on yet, and some just fell down, almost hit the camera. What we're gonna do, the other thing is the shaft, and then we need to fill it full of oil and grease, which I don't have yet. I'm gonna pick that up. I've got that all ordered, and we will grab that next time I go to town. Today we're gonna unpack the seeder. I want to tell you guys all about this cool seeder. It's a mulch laying machine, but it also has seeding and fertilizing attachments as well as hole punching attachments. So I'm very excited to get that unpacked today, and we're gonna start assembling it. All right, I can't tell you a whole lot about it until I open it up. This is how it showed up. It's all packaged. I mean, this automatically looks like a seed bin. Looks like some hoses for some seed. I can't tell you a lot. There's a little gear looking thing there. I have no idea. Honestly don't know. This also looks like a seed bucket. You can see a little bit more in here. Some kind of scrapers there. A roller. Any idea what we're looking at?
Seed drill?
A seed drill? No, well, sort of. Part of it is.
A seeder.
That looks like it may be kind of a hitch. We don't really know because we've never opened it up. But we're going to do so. As far as I'm aware, there is no instruction manual, so hopefully it's pretty self-explanatory. Otherwise, we'll figure it out based on pictures off the internet. All right, that's it for today, folks. Catch you all tomorrow. Just kidding. Just kidding. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. More than just a plastic bucket. It's got some weight to it. Why doesn't it want to move? Must be strapped to something. Everything covered in sand, so we could probably lay some stuff down on the ground.
Bring that bench over.
Okay. Well, there's going to be a lot of little parts, right? Do we have we've put the work on hold because we decided we don't really want to put everything in the sand. It's the trouble with the sand, it gets gross. So we're building a little temporary bench on the back wall here. We'll set all the stuff on it, and then we'll get back to it. Right now, I got to charge my phone.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side, our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy.
It's a new day. We didn't get much farther yesterday, but we did kind of figure out what needs to be done. The snow has mostly melted away again. Yesterday it basically snowed all day and it was cold and miserable. But now we're back out. So we were working on this roller. There is no instructions, so to speak. There is, but not like a booklet. And I contacted them to figure out how to put this together. They have a video that you can watch. I haven't watched it yet, but that's fine. It is available, so if you're interested in buying one of these, of course, if you're in Russia, it'd be very convenient. The whole video is in Russian. It could be watched with English subtitles, but we looked at a lot of photos and got a much better understanding of how this goes together. So we will now do our best to assemble that, looking at pictures and watching some video and get it all done. And we also have a better understanding of what all these components are now, because we weren't quite sure what this was for or the hose is for, and we kind of understand it now, at least a little bit. Very excited about trying this out. So this can be found gasparagro.ru if you're interested. Give you a minute for that. And this is their phone number for contact as well. We'll be featuring this in many videos, I hope anyway, if it works as well as we hope it does. We are not expert gardeners. We have grown smaller scale market gardening for quite a few years. It's a popular thing, I guess, where we're from, becoming more popular as more consumers are becoming aware of where their food comes from and wanting good, healthy choices that are close to home. They're willing to buy from local producers, local farmers, rather than going to the grocery store and buying something from who knows where it comes from. They don't really know. Which really opens up a nice niche market. I don't know how readily available that will be here in Russia, but I think people everywhere want good food for their families. And we're hoping to produce good food. And the trouble with growing food in gardens, there's a lot of work involved, especially with weeding and stuff like that. I found years ago that gardening in plastic stops a lot of that work. Now, we've never used one of these machines. I have a friend of mine in Canada who has one. Not this model, but something similar. And he has a much larger market garden. And that's also where we're heading. We're hoping to grow larger. But the main thing is that growing in plastic cuts your workload down huge. For one, you don't need to irrigate as much. For two, you have barely any weeds to deal with. And so that's the main thing. That's why we started gardening in plastic. And as I said earlier, we just did a big plastic sheet. Now we're going to do it in strips, and I'm sure it'll work, but I'm looking forward to experimenting with it. So this, as you can see clearly, is a cedar. Now, looking at some of the pictures, I'm wondering why we can't put two on. And so it might be something that we will look into in the future. I think this thing could be wide enough that we could put two of these on and do 2 rows at once. Depending on what we're seeding, that might be very handy. The plastic row can go about yay wide. Well, these are the rolls right there. And so part of it will be covered up with dirt on each side, but there would be enough room to let's say, plant corn. I could use 2 of these side by side and plant 2 rows of corn at one time. So I'll be looking into that, talking to these guys, and maybe we can set something up where we can attach more. This one as well for different kinds of seed. Again, I don't know which one's which. We just asked it for like as many attachments as possible, basically. So we'll sort all that out in the next little while. And they also offer support, and we're thankful for that. We're thankful to be able to work with a company that will help us out as we go. As like, hey, how do we do this? How do we do that? Can we change this? Can we change that? It's nice to be able to work with a company that's still small enough that they care about you and are willing to work with you. What's that?
There's only sunshine right where our farm is.
Cloudy everywhere else?
Yeah, you can see the ring of cloud.
Yeah. You're right. Boots throw. That's funny. Good Lord shining upon us. Hey, kitty. Kiss, 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 kiss. Yeah, it doesn't work either. Meow. Aha. See? This cat's almost English. Meow. Meow. Hey, he speaks English. Kitty, 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 kitty. You're a nice kitty, aren't you? Well, that's the beauty of living on the farm, working for yourself, you can stop for coffee break whenever you want. So we just went in, had coffee, now we're back out. And actually the weather really turned sour. It got very, very windy and just started pounding out some snow. So we decided coffee time was in order. Our fingers were cold. We've made great progress on this thing though. We got a bunch of stuff figured out here. So we got our fertilizer box mounted up here, seed drill box mounted down in here. It's a really cool little unit, sits inside of here on the frame. And we've got this bolted together. We're busy working on these. So these are markers that can be dropped. If I open this up, then as we're driving, it'll be making a line, and that line will be the center for the next row. And you can obviously change this, loosen this off, and you can adjust it, you know, if you want your rows farther apart or closer. And then it comes back up and pops back in there. We've got this up here. This is for the drip tape. We'll be on here rolling around. And this I haven't totally, I mean, it's for holding the plastic roll, but I haven't quite figured out how that works yet. This is going to come down and hold this roll somehow onto here. So we'll figure that part out yet. We're getting there step by step. I got that marker on that side. Right now we're going to mount all this stuff. It goes on this bar and can be adjusted according to the measurements on the back of this bar. And there's a bunch of stuff, and I want to make sure you get in the right order. So this middle one, it'll have these funny wheels over there, look like old wagon wheels, and that's for punching holes in the plastic. Beside this, I believe this is to carry an extra roll of plastic. It's got to go on here. And then we've got some extra discs and tires that all need to get mounted on. So that's what we're going to take care of now, and the next time you see it, it should be on. Wow, I'm still nicely impressed with this unit. So we've got all these pieces on the back now. So this will have a disc on it to close it back up. We're going to have it opening here. This is going to dig open a furrow, and then the plastic will lay down in the furrow, and then this guy will throw the dirt back on the furrow, if that makes any sense. This tire needs to be lined up in such a way that it presses it down in, so that it's pushed into the furrow, as far as I understand. This is for holding an extra roll of plastic. This guy I've got adjusted up right now, but he will have wheels on here that punch holes in the plastic if I want that. Not in all cases. So if we're seeding with the seed drill and I laid plastic over top, I'd lay clear plastic over top, and the plants will grow up underneath it. Once they're a certain size, we'll cut holes and the plants can emerge. But in other cases, we have plants started in the house in little buckets basically, and they will be planted right in the dirt. And so we would still lay the plastic out, but we would then use these hole punch. This guy, he will be spinning around in circles, puncturing holes in the plastic, and in each hole we will plant one. These are those discs I was talking about. But in each hole we would then put one plant with its root mass in the dirt. We're trying to figure these adjustments. I don't know where this needs to be yet. We'll figure that out. I just noticed these tires are really cracked, which is unfortunate. It is brand new, so I might talk to the guys about that. They seem like they're really good to deal with. Other than that, yeah, pretty cool. The drip line will go up here, can be installed. Again, not everything needs to be used all at once, although I do really like the idea of using the drip line. But there may be times where we use this or we use that, but everything's here at least. You know, we don't have to put seed in the seed drill. We can just keep it there without using it. And then the fertilizer box, we still got some stuff to hook up. This part, as far as I can tell, again, I got some more research to do, but this runs on the exhaust of the tractor. So that blue cone would go on the exhaust of the tractor. Exhaust would run right through it, but it would create a vacuum off the secondary port. You can see the one tube sticking off the side. That would create a vacuum as air goes through this way. As it's going through, if you have another port, you'll find that it actually sucks here a little bit. And so that hose then gets attached to this can, which then it gets attached to here somehow, and to that. And how exactly that works, I don't know yet. We'll figure that out, but it's going to get hooked up here somehow. So I have a small hose from here to there, and a large hose from here to the tractor. Now I'm familiar with an air seeder, and that uses blown air. It's blowing air to push seed into the ground. But if I understood correctly, now again, I'm dealing with translations, right? So everything's written in Russian and I translate it, and that gets things messed up a lot. The other day I was talking to a friend of mine and we were talking about chickens, baby chickens. And so when you're raising broilers, there's typically 3 types of feed. Hopefully this all translates good. But you have starter feed, you then get grower feed, and then you have finisher feed, and then you butcher the birds. And so the translation that came from him is that he was breastfeeding the birds. And I was like, I don't think that's what you meant, but that's how it translates. So it often messes it up. He was talking about starter feed, the first feed for the chickens. But for some reason, Google translated that as breastfeeding. I don't know. And in this case too, it may be wrong, but it sounded like it's using suction for the seed drill instead of blowing. And I don't know why. It would make more sense to me if it was blowing. But we'll figure that all out. No big deal. Think, buddy. Pretty neat? You like that, eh? So we got this roll. I just set it on here just to have a look. They have different size rolls. This is the one we picked. And this sits on here to kind of clamp it down. There's will be a spring going on here yet, from here down to that tab in there. Cold again. And this is for the drip line, coming off the roll, going down into here, coming off of this roll, going down into that tube. Now we're more or less got her put together here now. We'll keep playing with it, and then, I mean, we'll really figure it out when we get it out into the field to see if our adjustments are good or not. Step by step we get further. We got the hole punchers on. Now, this guy digs the groove. They're not set to the right spot for the plastic yet per se, but that guy digs the groove. The plastic then goes down on this roll and runs underneath. This wheel presses in, and I was right. I just talked about this cracked wheel. He said, oh, we'll send you another one. I knew they would. That's going to press it down on the gap that guy has made, and then this disc is going to toss the dirt back in. And because you're moving, it might toss the dirt too far. It's got this here. It's going to throw the dirt into this so that it doesn't end up all over your plastic and just ends up in the end. Beautiful. Wonderful system. We've turned these around. That's for our drip tape, as far as I can tell. It's going to come from these rolls up here, run through these tubes and down underneath the plastic right away. Very excited about that. Now, I would have thought that this would go on this roll. Wes is thinking, you know what, maybe it just sits up on top of here, which it might. And that would explain that guy. It would be a lot simpler to load if you could just set it on top. So we'll have to just try it. Oh, I'll watch a few videos and we'll find out. I imagine the comment section will be stuffed full. Keep in mind, all of our videos are behind, so by the time you see this video, we probably already figured out how it works. Right? Right? Maybe. All right, we got to put the attachment up here yet. I know there's a piece that bolts on. Must be in this box, maybe. That's a very nice, sturdy box, too, by the way. I'm really impressed with that. They had an older design that I've seen pictures of that had kind of a metal can here. And metal sometimes is better, but this definitely looks a lot nicer. With a nice plastic box, it's very aesthetic. Now, there's supposed to be a piece, this guy right here. This piece needs to go on here yet, and this is for the fertilizer attachment. So this runs in here, and that'll make its own furrow and put fertilizer right down in there in the center of the row, and then the seed drill will go. Now I still think it would be nice to have 2 seed drills here, one here, and then have 2 fertilizer attachments. I do have 2 holes, so it might be possible to make that and attach one on each side. But for now, we'll mount it the way they say. So that's going to get mounted on the front. And then I think we're ready to roll. Okay, other than adjustments, I think we have got her put together. Careful, buddy. So, and then I'm thinking I seen this piece, but it might have been on a picture. There's supposed to be a Y, and these pipes go in. Why, I don't know. I still think I would like to have one here and one there, and then this pipe could just go in the hole. But I can't find this piece, so either I seen it on a picture or it was here, but it's not here now. Oh, I don't know. It was windy the other day, and now we have a bit of snow, so we'll wait a couple days and see if it's here. Maybe the wind, I don't remember if it was steel or plastic either. I have no idea. If it was plastic, it's possible that it may have blew away. But I think it was metal, in which case it wouldn't blow away. I don't know where it is. If it's here, we'll find it. If it's not here, I guess we'll have to just order it. But other than that, everything's together. Pretty neat. This is the fertilizer box here. You got different gear options depending on how much fertilizer you want to put in, and it's all run off the tire. Runs through here, and then it's got an auger that goes both ways at the same time. So half the auger travels that way, half this way, meaning it'll go down the two tubes. And therefore, I think you could run two, especially if I want to run two planters. Then I could run a fertilizer in front of each one. So we'll see. Time goes on. The main reason I bought it is to lay plastic down. The seating was a great option that came along with it. Pretty happy with it overall. Construction pretty good. And of course we're going to try it out. So stay tuned for that in future videos. We will play around with this. What's that, buddy?
It's underground.
Might be. We'll have to find it, eh? So stay tuned for future videos. We will demonstrate how this thing works. We'll learn ourselves. We'll also show you guys. And then, of course, if it works as well as it should, you will see it in many, many videos to come as we put our gardens in every single year. I'm also planning on using it to put plastic down for our apple trees. We will then cut holes in that plastic and plant the trees in it, and with drip tape as well. I'm going to try that out. So stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy the product. If you're interested in one, again, I will try to put the contact information on the bottom of the video, but it is here. This is a phone number you can call, 7938-136-4000. Seben, David, 3, 47, Adin 3, 6, 4000. And Gaspar Agro. The label seems to be in the wrong direction. GasparAgro.ru. If you're interested in one of these, give them a holler and see what they can do for you. They have like a multiple different varieties of machines, not just this machine. They got a bunch of different ones. Also some really cool stuff for planting. You're gonna have another machine behind this with trays on it with all your little starters that you can drop down in the holes. Just lots of stuff. Check out their website. Lots of great stuff. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. God bless you. Catch you in another one.
As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter sun. Maybe this is the season